Exploration of the end of the Student Direct Stream, SDS, and Nigeria Student Express, NSE. While I cannot produce that long a response in one go, I can certainly help outline and provide a comprehensive overview of the topic. Introduction. Brief overview of the importance of international student streams to Canada. The role of the Student Direct Stream, SDS, and Nigeria Student Express, NSE, in facilitating student visas for prospective students from select countries. Importance of understanding the implications of their closure or changes. Background of the Student Direct Stream, SDS. History and formation of the SDS. Countries involved in the SDS program. Key benefits and eligibility criteria of the SDS for international students, faster processing, clear documentation requirements, etc. The impact of the SDS on students from countries like India, China, the Philippines, and others. Background of the Nigeria Student Express, NSE. Introduction to the NSE and its relevance to Nigerian students. The launch of NSE and its goal to streamline the visa application process for Nigerian students. Specific requirements for Nigerian students under this express program. The role of NSE in the growth of Nigerian student numbers in Canada. Reasons for the end of SDS and NSE. Government and immigration policies. Changes in visa policies by the Canadian government. Impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on immigration processes and student visa applications. International pressure and challenges regarding student visas, security concerns, and shifting diplomatic relations. Administrative changes in Canadian immigration departments and the impact on streamlining processes. Reduction in the number of international students from specific countries. Implications of the end of SDS and NSE. Direct impact on students. More complex and longer processing times for visa applications. Financial implications for students, additional costs, delays, etc. Impact on Canadian educational institutions. Changes in enrollment numbers, international collaborations, and diversity. Effects on immigration consultancy firms and education agents that specialized in these programs. Strategic responses by the Canadian government and institutions to adapt to the end of these programs. Alternatives to SDS and NSE. New immigration programs and student visa pathways offered by Canada. The introduction of new express programs, or adjustments to existing systems. How students can now apply through standard study permits or other pathways. Prospective opportunities for international students under the new system. Global reactions to the end of SDS and NSE. How other countries with strong international student markets, Australia, the US, the UK, are responding to Canada's policy changes. Students' reactions, including concerns about the complexity of new procedures. Feedback from Nigerian students and their efforts to adjust to new processes. Conclusion. Summary of the consequences of the end of SDS and NSE. A balanced perspective on the future of Canadian immigration for international students. Reflection on how international students can navigate the changing landscape of visa applications. In-depth overview. 1. Introduction. The Student Direct Stream, SDS, was a Canadian initiative designed to accelerate the student visa application process for international students, particularly from countries like India, China, and the Philippines. Its purpose was to facilitate the intake of students by simplifying visa procedures and providing faster processing times for eligible applicants. Similarly, the Nigeria Student Express, NSE, was a program specifically aimed at streamlining the student visa process for Nigerian students wishing to study in Canada. 2. Background of SDS and NSE. The SDS program, introduced in 2018, was aimed at making Canada an even more attractive destination for international students. SDS offered faster processing times for study permits by streamlining the requirements, including proof of funds, language proficiency tests, and biometric requirements. The NSE, while a smaller, country-specific initiative, provided similar benefits, but focused on Nigeria, a country with high demand for Canadian education. 3. Reasons for the end of SDS and NSE. A combination of reasons likely contributed to the cessation or modification of both programs. Immigration policy shifts, such as the government's desire to manage the number of international students more effectively, played a part. The disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, which necessitated changes in global visa systems, also had a significant effect on processing methods. Additionally, rising concerns about immigration security, compliance, and the balance of international student populations may have prompted these programs' re-evaluation. 4. Implications of the end of SDS and NSE. The end of SDS and NSE means that students from the affected countries may now face longer processing times and more stringent requirements when applying for study permits. This could discourage prospective students or create a sense of uncertainty in the international student community. Additionally, the broader impacts include a reduction in the number of international students enrolled at Canadian institutions, which rely heavily on tuition fees from foreign students. 5. Alternatives to SDS and NSE. Although SDS and NSE have ended, Canada continues to offer multiple pathways for international students to apply for study permits. These include the regular study permit process, as well as other express routes that may be rolled out in the future. Immigration consultants and agents will have to adjust their services to help students navigate these alternative routes. 6. Global reactions. Countries around the world that also attract international students, such as the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia, are closely watching Canada's moves in terms of international student immigration policy. Some students from countries affected by the end of SDS and NSE may shift their focus to other educational destinations, causing Canada to lose some of its market share in global education. 7. Conclusion. The end of SDS and NSE represents a shift in Canadian immigration policy that will have far-reaching effects on international students. As the landscape evolves, prospective students will need to adapt to new processes and explore other avenues for studying in Canada. For institutions and immigration services, the challenge lies in navigating these changes and ensuring that international students continue to have opportunities to access Canadian education.